A war of words has erupted online. This time, it's not between world leaders, but between billionaire Elon Musk, U.S Secretary of State Marco Rubio, and Poland's Foreign Minister Radoslaw Sikorski. At the center of it all? Well, Starlink, Musk's satellite internet service, which is a lifeline for Ukraine's military. This comes at a time when US support for Ukraine is at its lowest. Trump has cut military aid and intelligence sharing. And now questions are rising. Will Starlink be next? The controversy started when Musk took to X claiming Ukraine's entire front line would collapse without Starlink. Poland's foreign minister, Sikorski, fired back, reminding Musk that Warsaw was paying $50 million a year to keep Starlink running in Ukraine. He also warned that if SpaceX proved unreliable, Poland would be forced to look for other suppliers. That's when U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio entered the chat, accusing Sikorski of just making things up. Rubio defended Musk, saying Starlink had kept Ukraine in the fight and that without it, Russian troops would already be at Poland's border. Musk later called Sikorski a small man but also reassured that Starlink would never be turned off. This spat is playing out as U.S. Ukraine relations hit rock bottom. Trump has completely frozen military aid and cut off intelligence sharing with Kyiv. Musk's own stance on Ukraine has also been controversial. He has previously called President Zelensky evil for what he described as a forever war with Russia. But here's where it gets even more complicated. Reports suggest Trump's administration is using Starlink as leverage to push Ukraine into signing a critical minerals deal with Washington. According to Reuters, Ukraine was warned that if it didn't agree to the deal, Starlink would be shut off. Owned by Elon Musk's SpaceX, Starlink is a satellite internet system that works without any ground infrastructure. Unlike traditional networks, it only requires a small satellite dish to access high-speed internet. Since the war began in 2022, Ukraine has heavily relied on Starlink. The system helps soldiers communicate, operate drones, and coordinate attacks. There are over 42,000 Starlink terminals in Ukraine used by both military and civilians. And critically, Russia hasn't been able to jam its signals. Directly attacking Starlink satellites would escalate the war dramatically. Despite Musk's reassurances, the battle over Starlink is far from over, with Trump pulling back US support. Ukraine's reliance on Starlink and Musk's influence in the war is greater than ever. The question now, will Starlink remain neutral or is it already a bargaining chip in global politics? For more details and news updates on this, stay tuned to the official YouTube channel of the Indian Express.